This is a discussion of Babylon Revisited um, by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I read a book years ago called The Trip to Echo Springs, and it talked about or discussed alcoholism and some very famous authors Hemingway, Tennessee Williams, John Berryman, John Cheever, and of course, Fitzgerald was in there. So I found this story really interesting in comparing it to what I knew about F. Scott Fitzgerald's life. Apparently, he was very fond of peeing in public. I think, peed in a potted a potted palm, like in a lobby or something at a hotel or a play, and once urinated in front of everybody in a very crowded restaurant all over the table and just laughed hysterically. He just thought it was so funny. The man was an absolute train wreck, and so was his wife. So this short story was very interesting because of the connection of the two. So, Charlie is returned to Paris to take custody of his daughter, Honoria. Now, the name Honoria, obviously, I think, is honor. He's returned to Paris to try to regain his honor. He has failed as a husband, he has failed as a father, and he mistreated all the people around him. He had lots of money and he squandered it. So the question is, and his daughter is living with his brother and sister in law, his deceased wife's sister. So the question is, should Honoria be returned to her father for custody? And has he changed? Did the death of his wife, did the loss of his daughter shock him into growing up? Now, all people make mistakes, and I think that we are too eager to punish and too reticent to forgive. There is no indication anywhere in the story that he ever hurt Honoria. Obviously, he mistreated his wife. He locked her outside in the snow, but doesn't say anything about him ever mistreating the child or neglecting the child, really. Um, so I'm going to go by the page numbers from the PDF that we were supplied. On page 1, he's sitting in a bar and he's offered another drink, and I think it's the Ritz, and he says, I'm going slow these days. No, he doesn't want another drink. I'll stick to it all right. I've stuck to it for over a year and a half now. So that's a long time to not have a drink or to control your drinking if you're an alcoholic. His income, according on page 3, his income is larger than it was when he was drinking, when he was wealthy before, so he's working. He takes one drink, page 4, he takes one drink every afternoon and no more, and he sticks to it. On page 5, he talks about his daughter, and oh no, I'm sorry, on page 5, it had been given even the most widely squandered sum as an offering to destiny that he might not remember the things most worth remembering, the things that now he would always remember. His child taken from his control, and his wife escaped to a grave in Vermont. His wife escaped to a grave. I love that sentence. That's amazing. Um, Basically, I think this says that he recognizes what's important now and what was frivolous before. When it comes to his daughter, it talks about how before he was rather strict, and now he wants to be more tolerant, more communicative with her. I don't think strict means he was abusive, but he's much more open and loving now, and I think that's progress. So I think he should get his daughter back. Now, his sister in law, Marion, I didn't really care for this character. I found her to be really imperious and unforgiving. Everybody makes mistakes. She acts like she doesn't make any mistakes. Obviously, she does. She also acts like her sister was some kind of saint who had all these terrible things just done to her. Well, presumably, like Zelda, Fitzgerald's real wife, the wife was there the whole time, participating in it. She was also drunk. She was also having a good time, so she was not a saint. My only concerns, of course, are why doesn't Charlie just quit drinking? It's a little dangerous to drink once a day. It's a little dangerous to be walking around your old haunts and kind of tempting yourself. It's a little dangerous to even talk to these people that he used to party with. And he doesn't remember, or doesn't want to remember, that he's the one that gave them his brother in law's address, this Lorraine and Duncan that show up, these obnoxious people. Your past, you can't get away from it. It haunts you. It's going to dog you and dog you. So, but I still think we should forgive and that he should get his daughter back. I think he's making real progress.